Hello and welcome back to the Great Lakes Cup Series. We are in the Valley of the Sun at Phoenix Raceway for the Great Lakes Cup Series presented by Butt Kicker. This should be a great one as they're gonna do 150 laps around Phoenix. Race number 3 of 12 of the Great Lakes Cup Series. On the pole is Josh Cottle, a great lap from him. I'm joined in the booth by Alex, Breyer, and Gavin. How are you guys doing today?
Not too bad. Looking forward to a great show here tonight at Phoenix.
There's a lot of people in this booth right now. This is going to get interesting.
Crowded. Can you move over? I don't have any arm room.
Oh, jeez. I'm already hitting people.
Oh, God. Maybe like these drivers will do tonight out on the track. Obviously, Phoenix more of a short track-y type track. You know, depending on who you ask. Some people say Phoenix is a short track. Some people say it's an intermediate. I think it's a short track. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but
Definitely has that short track feel to it.
yeah, you know, I would really compare it to Nashville, you know, where obviously the real life NASCARs and all the officials went last week. You know, it's roughly the length, I believe, or well, it's a mile long, but you know, sometimes it feels like a mile and a half around this track.
Definitely always a lot of fun to watch. Phoenix definitely should be interesting. Should see some accidents out there. Maybe some tempers flare. Should be very exciting as these guys are about to pull off pit road. We're going to do your starting order for you. Starting on row number 1, you have Josh Cottle, as I said, is the pole sitter today. And then on the outside, you'll have RJ Williams.
Spectrum Racing front row there. Moving to the second row, we have a 25-11 row of Christopher Heller and Brandon Barkuski.
In that third row, we got Jacob Bransky in the 03 and Phil Bedford in the 20.
In the next row, we have Merrick Watchhorn on the inside and Austin Moore up high.
Moving for 9th and 10th, we have Drew Cox and Zachary Henry.
Just outside the top 10, we got the 57 of Jake Miller on the inside of the 07 of Seth Harrelson.
Then on the inside, we have William. I don't think I'm ever going to say his name right. So we're just going to call him Mr. Excitement, Barb, on the inside. And then on the outside, Jacob Hayes.
Moving down to 15th and 16th, Nick Martin and Charles Wembley.
Behind them is the 6 of Spencer Dickinson and 5 of Matthew Daniels.
On the next row, you have Kyle Hall and Jordan Gonzalez.
Moving to the next row, we got Peter Acumano and Brandon White, who will round out our qualifying times. Elliot Henderson, missing qualifying. And I believe that those are the starters.
Pace car's about to pull off. Coming off of turn 4. We're on the old layout, of course. The green flag's about to wait for these guys, as Josh Cottle's going to lead them down to the green flag here in Phoenix.
Him and RJ got a great jump over those 25-11 cars behind him, but here comes Heller. He's not letting him get away too fast. RJ to the inside. Obviously, the dog leg going to come into play. Is RJ going to clear him? RJ will not clear him, coming into 3 and 4. Oh, no, never mind. Yes, he does. Into 3 and 4. Chris Heller on the charge for second.
Great move from RJ Williams, taking full advantage of that dog leg. He's going to get out to a couple car lengths lead as your points leader. Christopher Heller is trying to take over the second position from Cottle.
As he pulls that move off on the inside, Josh Cottle moving the wrong direction, back 2 spots, and he looks like he's about to lose another one of the 25 of Barkuski there.
Barkuski, I got it right. Barkuski making the move to third, looking like he has a lot of speed here early.
Josh Cottle just cannot get down, and now Bransky is gonna also stick his nose in there. Phil Bedford behind them.
And here comes Watchhorn. He's going to make a move under Bedford coming out of 2. He's going to get close coming through the dog leg.
He's going to get him as he looked like he seemed to outbreak Bedford there. Can he hold on to it? Will he slide up? Perfect corner there by the 54 of Merrick. That Twiggy Chevrolet obviously putting in a lot of work as he will clear Bedford. As Bedford now trading spots with Josh Cottle. He's moving back. The 22 of Drew Cox on the inside. And Austin Moore lets the 20 car down. As it looks like the free fall's over for him.
Bransky in the 03 making moves up front. He's moved himself up to the 4th position, putting pressure on Barkuski for that 3rd spot. Gets loose, almost smacks the wall off of turn 4.
Oh, as we have a yellow, I believe that was off of turn 4. I think our camera caught it a little bit in the back there. As it is the 43 car of Peter Accumano around. As it just seems to be a self-spin incident. Seeing if we can pull the replay up here. That HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. See, seems to just get in the corner. Seems to make a move down on his teammate Ty Aiken. And the back end the car just steps out on him. Good job by everyone, locked the brakes up, everyone got out of the way. No harm, no foul. He'll come down, put a fresh set of Goodyear Eagles on the car, and that will be that.
Great job by Accumano to keep it off the inside wall. No damage to his machine, and he should just keep on going. Like you said, just put some fresh Goodyears on the car, and he should be fine.
Yeah,
Guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but Mr. Accumano, he is leading the league in most incidents of the season right now. So Peter Accumano, first caution, kind of not a surprise for those who watch.
Yeah, as that seemed, I believe, Briar, you might be able to once again quote me on this, but I believe that he was also pushing for most amount of incidents in the truck series last season as well.
In fact, he was a little bit over, I want to say over 100, but I could be wrong. Could be close to 50, but I know he was up there in that as well. Just to see Accumano this early is kind of surprising, but also not.
Yeah, just nothing against Pete. Just a lot of that had to do with a lot of bad luck. I know Pete had a bit of bad luck in the truck series, but this season really, he finished 2nd at Daytona. I forget where he finished at Daytona Road, but yeah, obviously he missed the back half of that truck series season, and I believe he also missed the back half of the Cup series season as well. So first season back, just learning out, getting the kinks out, I guess, hoping for a good season from him the rest of the way.
Yeah, Accumano struggled last week at the road course. I'm looking right now. He actually finished 12 laps down in the 16th position last week. So he needs a good finish this week to rebound from his performance at the road course. Looking at our race leader, RJ Williams, before that caution, he jumped out to almost a full second lead on our points leader, Christopher Heller. Interested to see how this next green flag is going to go out for him. How is this restart going to go for him? And I'm also interested on when these pit stops might end up coming into play. Alex, do you have any knowledge of a pit window for tonight's event?
Well, sadly for tonight's event, we were unable to grab the pit numbers for tonight, so I think we're looking for when that will be, personally.
I believe that it's going to be close to 40 laps as long as they're going to be able to run with the fuel that they have. So that's a little tidbit of information. Unless they use up their tires, go for lap 40 for pitting.
Yeah, just a quick note. I know we were looking at Pete on pit road. Those of us paying attention also saw Elliot Henderson come down pit road. He missed qualifying due to some traffic issues on his way home. He'll be able to stretch this fuel run out longer than everyone else now. Good idea from him. Obviously, nothing really to lose from being back there. Might as well come down, put a fresh tank of gas in it, and hope for a good strategy call from him tonight.
Elliot Henderson, a driver with a lot of speed, would not be surprised to see him up there in the top 10 in not too long. as he has a lot of speed, especially at a track here like Phoenix, as we're about to get the green flag as the lights are out on the pace car. RJ Williams is going to lead him to the green as your points leader. Christopher Heller is on his outside.
He's getting ready. Lights out. Here they come back to the green flag. RJ with the good launch. He'll pull out that second lead again on Heller, but those two 2511 cars have got him in his sights. Here they come.
Barkuski trying to make a move on Heller, trying to get past him. Let's see if he dives down low in the dog leg. He goes way down there. Gotta try to clear him going into turn 3.
Will not work. He didn't have it in him. You know, that dog leg is all fine and dandy until you actually have to come back up on the racetrack. If you can't clear the car you're trying to clear in the dog leg, you're going to lose that time and the momentum. As Bransky, looking to his inside, proving that perfectly. Brandon cut the dog leg, ran out of momentum, and backwards he goes as we have another
Second
yellow
turn
out on
4.
the speedway.
Oh, that was a big one in the back of the field there. Driver got turned around, backed it into the outside wall in turn 4.
Looks like the number 39 of Zachary Henry had turned it around. Hopefully we can get a replay for you and see what happened to Zachary. Spun it out in turns 1 and 2, and here we are with the replay. Here he is coming down the front stretch.
See what happens here. That is Nick Martin, I believe. Behind him is Matt Daniels. I believe that's Matt Daniels. Just gets in there a little too hot and sends him around. I don't know who that black car was that hit him. I believe it was Kyle Hall with the all black car last week. Is getting another angle here.
As you see, it looks like Zachary Henry turns down a little bit, and Matt Daniels just gets in there a little too hard and slides up the track and gets up into Henry's quarter panel.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see. That was a pretty heavy front end damage. You know, it is fixable, but he is most likely done as we see Kyle Hall, the other car involved in that wreck, coming down pit road. And I don't know about you, Breyer, you will remember this. Kyle, probably not, but last time I believe that the Great Lakes Series went to Phoenix, it was not a very fun affair. It was a caution-filled race, and as it stands right now, it's going to be like that again this week, or this race.
If I remember correctly, we had a total of 17 cautions that race. It's a big doozy. We spent more time under caution than we did running. So I believe you are right. It's going to get close to that as well.
Yeah, you know, Phoenix is a good track, but like I said, that's the short tracky nature of it. Like I was talking about earlier, short tracks, cautions tend to breed cautions. You know, once everyone got spread out that first run, it was fine until that self-spin incident. But you know, like I said, cautions breed cautions, especially at a hot and slick track like this. It's Phoenix, it's Arizona, it's baking hot. The track is on fire. And yeah, you know, you just gotta be careful, take it easy. And lots can go wrong, but and the yellows obviously seem to be quite long today for some reason. You know, maybe iRacing thinks there's debris out on the track. Yeah, you never know. Is Zach Henry, I believe, has gone to the garage here.
Disappointing to see him go out this early. Zachary Henry was running around mid-pack at the time of the incident.
Yeah, I was just getting another view of it here. Just seeing if we can find out what happened here. I believe this is the onboard of him. Yep, you see, just turns down on him. Or I shouldn't say turned down on him. It just, you know, they both went for the same spot, and this is what happened. Just getting Matt Daniels' view here.
Yeah, it looked like a racing deal to me. It looked like the 39 turned down a little bit. I don't know, actually. From that angle, it looked like Daniels might have sent it in.
He did. Lights out on the pace car here as we get the 1 to go signal. As they enter the backstretch, getting a quick another view of this. I forget I don't know who we're on board with here, but That's his view is. Cars coming back this time to take the green flag.
RJ Williams still out front in the number 21 machine with Heller still on his outside on this restart. Pace car coming around 3 and 4, going to pull off. We're going to get the green flag with a little under 140 to go here in Phoenix. RJ Williams takes off, a huge takeoff. Around a half-second lead almost, already going into turn 1.
RJ caught them all napping on the start. Just looking in the backfield here, that's William Barbagelata to the outside of Phil Bedford coming down the backstretch. Who's going to clear who? As it looks to be, no one's going to clear anyone. They're going to be side by side going through 3 and 4.
Bedford and Barb really going at it here on the first lap of the restart. Barb trying to complete the pass up there on the high side.
He cannot do it. That seems to really be the only battle right now. Everyone else is pretty singled out. I think Barb might clear him here on the coming out of the dog leg. Will he do it? He will not. As Phil is like a dog biting an ankle, will not let go on that inside. Is Barb going to clear him this time? I believe he is. Austin Moore also going to clear that 20 car.
Good move by William in 3 and 4. Really pushed Bedford below the yellow line and was able to clear him off the corner as Austin Moore now threatens him.
Just a quick note up front. Heller seems to have gotten back within arm's reach of RJ.
Christopher Heller putting a little bit of pressure on our race leader, RJ Williams. RJ Williams has led every lap so far here today, looking very strong in that red number 21.
Yeah, that windshield deep forward looking strong early, but don't count out that butt kicker 11 of Chris Heller. He is charging that man down. But, you know, Phoenix is a bit of a tire track. You gotta remember, you gotta save some tire here as Barbagelata coming down pit road.
Not sure what happened here.
Maybe some mechanical issues on that car. He comes down pit road, and I believe he has gone to the garage. William Barbagelata done for the day.
Wow. Where will we find our excitement now, Gavin?
Well, obviously in the 37 of Henderson as he makes a move to the inside of Nathan Nicholson. As he has moved up 6 positions now. Him and Nathan Nicholson. Nicholson's moved up 7. Elliott's moved up 7. They are nose to nose here. Those two cars charging back up to the front.
Nicholson being last week's winner at the road course. Looking to charge his way up to the front. Elliott Henderson missing qualifying. Looking really strong early here in Phoenix. Still has a lot of time to get up to the front.
As looking back, Pete, obviously recovering from that spin earlier, seems to have made his way back within fighting distance. He's currently scored in the 21st position. As Elliott is moving up another spot. He has passed the 3 of Charles Wembley. He is now back in the top 15.
Henderson looking strong. Nicholson was trying to follow him through, but not quite able to. Nicholson going to maybe try to send it into turn 1. He's all over the 3 cars bumper of Wembley.
As we got Briar Fritz here with some information on what happened to the 27 machine of Barbagelata.
Barbagelata was running fine and everything, but just a little short on time as he had to go to soccer practice, so Barb out of the race due to timing.
That's unfortunate for him. He looked to be strong early on here, but real-life commitments do happen, and he will move on to play soccer. Obviously, he is not running for Cup Series points. He is running for the Truck Series, so it won't massively affect his season. Obviously, he was just out here for some fun with these guys, and he gave us a bit of excitement, which, you know, all we can ask.
That's all we can ask out of Mr. Excitement is a little bit of excitement. And now he's going to go light up the soccer pitch for a little bit.
Yeah, as we have Ty Aiken under the gun now from Elliott Henderson. And as I say that, a caution comes out, so ignore me. See what the caution is for.
See Akimano on pit road, wondering if he's possibly related to the incident.
Oh, he got deep in there. I do not believe it's going to be Pete, though.
It's
Never
Pete.
mind. It is Pete.
It's
As
Pete.
he hits the inside wall. That's some pretty. That's some pretty bad engine damage. I believe it would not surprise me if he's done for the night. He is down on pit road. He seems to have just gotten in the corner a little too tight and trying to battle Matt Daniels off the corner. Probably got into the gas a little too heavy and bang into the wall. 'Cause that's all it will write for him tonight.
A lot of front end damage to the number 43. Like you said, that will probably end his night, as he is a couple of laps down now, and it looks like the race leaders are going to come on to pit road. RJ Williams is going to lead him down. Barkuski doesn't come in. He fakes on pit road.
Oh, Bransky, I believe Merrick Watchhorn, Jacob Bransky, Brandon Barkuski, Austin Moore, Phil Bedford, Jake Miller, Elliot Henderson, Nathan Nicholson, Nick Martin.
This is really going to change this race. Alex, what do you think of this?
Frankly, I'm surprised more people didn't pit here. I mean, they ran quite a few laps on these tires, and this being a short track, you're gonna get a pretty big advantage from that. But I believe these people are trying to avoid any incidents possibly by keeping track position.
This should be a really, really interesting restart there around 12th, 13th.
Yeah, as this is interesting here. Varying sets or varying strategies. You know, we got to remember the tire set limit here as well. But RJ Williams, who was obviously leading this race for the longest time, now will restart in the 13th position. Brandon Barkuski, Jacob Bransky, Merrick Watchhorn, Phil Bedford, Austin Moore, Jake Miller, Elliot Henderson, Charles Wembley, Nathan Nicholson, Nick Martin, Jordan Gonzalez, and Brandon White all stayed out.
Wow. This is going to be crazy. I'm going to be watching that number 21 car. That's for sure. As he's going to try to drive himself back to the front. The number 21 of RJ Williams.
Yes, obviously tires mean everything. I don't know. These guys are probably taking a gamble, expecting more cautions to come out. As Briar Fritz with some more information.
Yeah, the fastest person on the pit road there was Spencer Dickinson in the 6th, followed with your car that's in the 13th place, RJ. So RJ coming out first in that group, and Dickinson looks like he is back to where he started, but I believe he gained a couple spots coming in to pit road. So that's where we are sitting now.
Great job by Dickinson, able to gain some time on pit road. Very impressive from Spencer. I haven't mentioned his name all day.
Yes, as we know, pit road, very important part. You know, races can be won and lost on pit road. It's like, you know, I'd argue the most important part of the race sometimes is the pit stops, but, you know, strategy calls matter too, is everyone with different ones tonight, apparently. Getting ready to go green, lights out on the pace car. As Brandon Barkuski has elected the outside line for this restart. Interesting choice. As he obviously feels more confident up there. You know, this is also Brandon's bread and butter type track. He won at Iowa, a similar short track. As they go green here.
Whoa!
Oh, Jacob Bransky almost just wrecked. And that's going to be open the door for Merrick as he will surrender that position to Phil Bedford and Merrick Watchhorn.
It looked like to me that Bransky saw Barkuski take off and just kind of spun the tires, and that was almost a big wreck on the front stretch. Great job by the other three, able to keep it straight. And there's a battle for second between Bedford and Watchhorn. Watchhorn's going to try to clear him off of 4. Bedford's going to get the run off and continue the battle.
Just looking back here, we also have Nathan Nicholson fighting on the inside. Here comes Chris Heller. on those newer tires. He has gotten around RJ Williams on the new tires. He is charging to the front right now. I don't know if anyone just saw it, but see how much time he picked up on the dog leg right there? He didn't cut the dog leg. He just took it regularly. That just shows the tire difference right now. He's able to like latch on that outside and get a
there
roll
you
in.
go! Big wreck on the front stretch. Sorry to interrupt you, but that was insane. Bedford, a big pile up. Bedford slammed the wall, it looked like. Definitely gonna have to take another look at that. As it looked like to me maybe Bedford got into the wall and everyone just kind of lined up behind him.
That is a massive wreck. Austin Moore, Phil Bedford, the 3 car. The 4, I believe that is I believe that's Jake Miller involved. He almost pinched a couple people in the wall there. I believe Elliot Henderson also might have some damage. Getting another look at the replay here. He hits the inside wall, and obviously you're just along for the ride at that point. Got a couple cars.
A lot of destroyed race cars out there. The number 3 is torn up. Elliott got a good amount of damage. Austin Moore's car is totaled. A lot of mangled race cars out there as we're going to take another look at it here.
Yeah, as you see here, just yeah, it just seemed like an aggressive battle off the corner. That's all that happened is Elliott. That's not terminal damage for Elliott, but that could have been a lot worse. Yeah, that could have been much worse for Elliott there, as everyone just scrambles there to get around it. As Matt Daniels, I would love to see Matt Daniels in car for that wreck. We might need a new pair of pants down to that car, as he just barely squeaks by the spinning 13 car there, the 13 car of Jordan Gonzalez.
Taking another look at it right there, it kind of looked like to me that off the corner, Watchhorn just kind of washed up the racetrack, and that's what kind of started the incident as he got into Bedford. We're going to take the onboard look for Daniels. Sorry to interrupt you. It looks like we're going to take the onboard look for Matt Daniels here. Ooh, little contact there.
He got into that. He was the one who sent that 13 car around. I didn't see that part. I just saw him just kind of drive through it there as all the leaders make it through. I believe there's also the 07 of Drew Cox involved. That is a big wreck. That's a huge wreck. You know, those old tires, man. I'm not surprised it happened at all. But let's look at one thing. Chris Heller on those new tires, back up to 4th. RJ Williams 2 spots behind him in 6th.
Look who's creeped into that 5th spot. Nathan Nicholson.
Yeah, as it's just that was an absolute melee. As you know, if I'm Brandon and Merrick and everyone, I'm really upset about that caution, because that just eliminated all advantage they have basically.
Take another look at it here from Bedford's point of view. You see right here, it looks like Bedford might have turned down into him a little bit. It was really hard to tell from there.
Yeah, as you know, Phil just trying to, you know, probably pinch him down there, not let him get that run up off the corner. But on those loose tires, you know, maybe if they were all on new tires, it would have worked. But you know, these cars are on old tires. They're worn out. They don't maneuver as well. Merrick probably just slid up and just KO'd him. You know, there's really no option. Merrick entered that corner extremely low, was on the yellow line, and at that point, yeah, as it looks like Phil just tries to pinch him, and it just didn't work as planned. And then it was just really a melee from there.
Yeah, this track on the front stretch, Dover on the back stretch, tracks like that, it just really builds up when there's an accident there. It's really a bad place for an accident.
Yes. Nowhere to go is coming to the restart here. Brandon once again elects the outside line. You know, I questioned it earlier, but obviously it worked for him. He got off to a pretty good jump here. But now he's got the 54. Merrick Watchhorn to his inside. Let's not forget Daytona between these two. And we finally have that rematch, for lack of a better term.
Exactly.
Sure, over the last couple of weeks, I'm sure these two have sorted it out. But let's make it interesting.
Yeah, let's see what happens going on off into turn 1 as the pace car pulls off. And Barkuski's going to lead him to the green with his teammate right behind him. They get off to a good jump. There must have been some communication there.
Oh, absolutely. But nonetheless, to be honest with you, that's how that restart was going to go regardless. With the fresher tires on the 11, as mentioning teammates and fresher tires, here comes Merrick's teammate, RJ Williams, to his inside.
As Heller moves into the lead, he's taking the lead from the number 25.
As RJ Williams looking to take second here. We said those tires were going to, the tire wear was going to be too much for them to handle. RJ making his move to the outside of Brandon. Won't work. Looks to cross him over here, coming onto the dog leg. Will he? RJ doesn't seem to have enough room. He does seem to have the speed, though.
Barkuski looked like he blocked him on the front stretch, forced RJ to go up high, and RJ completed the pass on the back stretch, coming out of the dog leg.
Yeah, as crazy as now, RJ Williams will set his sights on that 11 car up front. Still a long race to go. Lap 49. Pardon me, lap 39. My apologies. In this 150 lap race, they're not even a third of the way through yet.
And sneaking up on these guys, that number 6, we talked about him not too long ago, Spencer Dickinson with those fresh tires. Oh, Drew Cox slams the wall off of 4. Huge hit for the number 22, right in front of Ty. Great job by these guys not to wreck there.
Yeah, they got all that sorted out. Good to see. Ty Aiken obviously on his toes here. Representing the Canadians. Good job, Ty.
And here goes Dickinson making the move on Bransky, trying to move himself into the top 5. You're looking at Dickinson in the number 6 as he's going to dive down low in the dog leg, trying to get past Merrick Watchhorn, trying to move himself into the 4th spot as he is charging hard right now in the number 6.
As he looks like he will get him. Maybe, maybe not. Those two are teammates, and look at them going at it. Merrick obviously on the older tires.
Merrick looking like Ryan Newman out there, not giving it up easy to Spencer Dickinson.
And he should not. He's making it interesting up here for us as the leaders seem to be pulling away. RJ still has that bow and arrow out. As it stands right now, Brandon Barkuski, that strategy is working out for him. He stayed out. He may not be in first, but he was in third. He led a couple laps. He obviously got that bonus point for leading a lap. Championships won and lost by 1 point. That 1 point could mean something. He hasn't really lost anything else. As a caution will come out, and I believe I would be genuinely surprised if everyone stays out here, but we will see, as that is the 7 car there of Drew Hammock seemed to get into, I believe that is the 9, the Oklahoma native.
So we're going to get a replay look here. Ooh, it looks like he might have gotten some help from the number 37 of Elliot Henderson.
As Elliot just came over the microphone and said that he thought he was staying up. It looks like Drew tried to make a bit of an aggressive block there off the corner, and it just didn't stick. Elliot didn't think he was going to do it. I don't know what the tire difference was there, but yeah, it's just a bad deal. Good job everyone on avoiding him. I believe I saw Josh Cottle there. I'm not too sure who that car to the inside was. As he also did an amazing job. I believe that is a 26 of Scott Stewart. Good job by him. As he just 7 just both going for the same spot as Jake Miller. Jesus. Jake Miller floored it to get by him. That was a Days of Thunder. If you go to the outside, you can hold it moment. As coming onto green flag pit stops here, Brandon Barkuski, Merrick Watchhorn, Jake Bransky. The top 3 cars on pit road, as I seem to have miscalculated, as everyone who stayed out last caution coming in. Everyone who came in last caution staying out.
Very interesting switch on the strategy. You're going to send it down to Alex down there. What are you seeing down there?
Well, as I was expecting here, the drivers who didn't pit the last time by were looking to be pitting this time after watching both RJ and Christopher Heller basically drive around all of them to get to the front of the field. So this is no surprise to me here.
would like to make a little note on that round, maybe 10 laps ago on the caution, the last caution. Elliot Henderson did make a pit stop along with Jacob Hayes. So they have around 10 laps fresher tires than our top 3 right now. Elliot Henderson has gotten himself up into the top 5 and has fresher tires in the top 3. Maybe try to threaten for the lead here.
There's
Yes, that
obviously
would be
interesting
very
strategies
interesting
from the
call.
37. Quick interesting tidbit coming down here from Briar Fritz. Let's throw it over to him, see what he has to say about those pit stops.
You know, those pit stops, you're going to see the fastest car that was towards the front not be the fastest, as it's going to be Jacob Bransky. He is in and out in 50 seconds, 50.20 seconds, followed by Brandon Barkuski at a 50.45. But sadly, it wasn't enough time for spots to be gained. So with that being said, you're still going to see Brandon Barkuski in that lead pack right there.
And Barkuski with the freshest tires right now on the track. He's going to be restarting in around the 10th position.
Yeah, there's interesting things. That 25 car seems to have the strategy to beat tonight. I think if I had to make bets right now as to what strategy is the best, I'd really argue for that 25 and likewise the 54 for the best strategy. But we'll pan it out. I think now, depending on obviously our caution situation here, if we can get that figured out and stop having yellows, I really think we could have an interesting end of the race here where it comes down to tire wear, fuel mileage, stuff like that. You got to manage all that. I think that starts now. I have this just gut feeling that we hit a certain point in the race and everyone just kind of calms down. We're pushing 50 laps in here, and I gotta say, I think we're done with the cautions. I think this is it. It's over. And yeah, you just got to get ready as pace lights out on the pace car here, getting ready to come to green.
Christopher Howard's going to lead him down to the green flag, and he gets off to a great restart in the number 11, looking to get another win on the season as he's looked very strong all day. And Dickinson and the number 21 are
Matt
going
Daniels. Oh, Matt Daniels hits Ty Aiken.
Ty Aiken is not happy with Matt Daniels over the radio with that one, it sounded like.
Ty Aiken out of the race, straight to the garage for him. I saw that live. I just happened to be looking in the back of the pack and saw it. Jake Bransky got into the quarter panel of Matt Daniels, and that just sent Matt around, and Matt collected Ty while trying to catch it. Unfortunate circumstances for both of those drivers, and I'll be damned apparently if we have a cautionless race.
I thought you said we were going green.
Yeah, I guess I jinxed it. I'm just gonna. You know what? No, we're gonna have a caution every lap of the race. We will not go green again during the race. Hopefully that works.
No, it's not gonna work.
So close.
Yeah, as you take another look at the replay, it looks like Bransky just really sent it in there, and Daniels tried to save it and kind of ruined Ty's day inadvertently. Very disappointing to see Matt and Ty out this early in the race. So we're going to look on board with the number 71 of Ty Aiken. See what he saw trying to get past Matt Daniels here. See Matt Daniels get sideways and just bam, right in the bumper. Nowhere he could go. Take another look at it here. Bransky just really sent it in there. Just got Matt Daniels right there on the left side of his bumper, right there near the quarter panel. Sent him on around. And that will end, I think that will end Daniels' day, as you do see him on pit road, maybe trying to get some repairs done to the number 5 machine.
Yes, obviously that's unfortunate for that 5 car. As I believe he also had some rotten luck in both Daytona races, if someone would like to correct me on that.
Let's see. Give me 1 second. The number 5 car, Matt Daniels. Yeah, last week, Matt Daniels wasn't in last week's race, and then I do remember him having a lot of issues in Daytona, getting into a couple of accidents there.
You know, obviously Matt not really running this series for fun, not scoring any points as he is racing full time in the truck series for 2511. So interesting to see him out here. You know, so it's not really a season-ending race or anything for him. He doesn't really have a season.
I would also like to mention that the cameras for today's race are brought to you by Track Cams for Gourmets. If you want custom cameras for iRacing, go to trackcams22.com. That is Track Cams for Gourmets. As the lights are out on the pace car, as they're coming around turns 1 and 2, we're going to get the green flag this time around, as we now have Heller and Williams on the front row. We'll see if Williams might be a little more prepared for the restart this time and may be able to keep up with Heller. And when we go green here, we're going to go straight into them beautiful engine sounds. We're going to go straight into a crank it up, as Christopher Heller is going to lead him down to the green flag in the number 11 butt kicker machine. Pace car pulls off. Let's see when Heller goes this time. And green flag is out. And the caution is out here on the speedway. There seems to be some arguing over the radio. Spencer Dickinson has unfortunately spun it around after looking so strong. Jake Miller is not happy on the radio. I'm gonna try to get a replay for you.
Look here. Someone just seemed to make a bit of an aggressive block there down to the inside there, the 26.
Yeah, it looked like Scott Stewart came right down on the number 03 of Bransky on the front stretch. Then in an unrelated incident, Dickinson had spun it around.
Yeah, that was, that was not the reason for the caution. It was the 6 going around that brought out the yellow, but, it just happened to be good timing there, as we here thought that it was because of that incident, but getting a look here from Dickinson as he just seemed to be battling. I believe that's Jacob Hayes.
He just looks like he's just gonna lose it. The rear end just jumps out on him. Very disappointing. Dickinson was running so strong, but great job keeping it off the wall. He just needs to change his tires, and he can get himself right back into this race. Still very early.
Yeah, long way to go.
Ooh, yeah, Stewart just cut right across the nose of Bransky, it looks like right there.
It's just a quick development here that we all kind of missed. Brandon White has seemed to have been disqualified out of the session here for reasons unknown to us, as we can't really find a reason for him to be. So that's it's odd.
That's very iRacing of iRacing to do.
Yeah, that's a pretty iRacing type deal there. Moving up front here. Heller still holding on to that lead with RJ behind him. Brandon Barkuski on those fresher tires than all of them, though, back up to 5th position as we see Nick Martin exiting the pits there, fixing his damage. As those new tires, I believe that the only cars left on those older tires are Chris, RJ, and I believe that is Jacob Hayes in the 9 car up there. So
Actually, Jacob Hayes is the only other person that came down with Elliot Henderson. So he's on the same strategy as Elliot Henderson. He has 10 laps fresher tires than the 2 drivers ahead of him. Jacob Hayes was looking really strong before that caution came out. As you saw, he passed Dickinson on the high side.
interesting developments so far in this race.
Yeah, you were talking about strategy right before we got the green flag last time. I really like the strategy that Hayes and Elliot Henderson are on, because everybody else is on 2 different strategies. I feel like your best chance of winning the race is doing something different, and that's what Elliot and Jacob are doing. They're doing something different.
Yeah, you got to do something different to win, and obviously it's working for them as Elliot is up to 4th along with Hayes in 3rd. So, they've got a good chance to, at least put pressure on the 21 and 11 here.
As the lights are out on the pace car, Heller's once again going to lead him to the green flag this time around in the number 11 machine. RJ Williams is going to be on his outside, but now he has Jacob Hayes with fresher tires on his bumper and Elliot Henderson on the high side in row number 2. So this might get pretty interesting with a bunch of fresh tires right behind them, because as you have Watchhorn and Barkuski right behind them as well.
Interesting developments, interesting race. Still a little over 90 laps left here in this race, as hopefully we'll start to go green. As off to a good start, Heller gets to a good jump.
Great restart from Christopher Heller. Gets out to around a 2-car length advantage on RJ Williams, as Hayes and Henderson are battling it out for the 3rd spot. Hayes is going to pull out in front. Jacob Hayes really driving down that 21. RJ really drove it into 3 and 4. Washed up the track a little bit.
Almost contact there. Hayes got that bow and arrow out.
As they're 3 wide heading into turn 1. Bransky diving it way low on Stewart. Getting a real racy back here.
As
around the
RJ
10th spot.
Didn't mean to cut you off, Kyle. RJ looked like he had a nose under Heller. He did not. As I guarantee you, Jacob Hayes right now, counting his blessings in that Rocket Race Wrap Chevy.
Very loose off of turn 4 was that number 9 machine, as Watchhorn in the number 54 is trying to get past Henderson in the number 37 on the outside.
Interesting developments as here comes Merrick to the outside of Elliott and Brandon.
Barkuski.
There are 3. Okay, sorry, they're going to be 2, but as Merrick charging his way up there.
You're talking about Barkuski, and he's charging, getting past the number 37, and now he's right on the bumper of Watchhorn as he moves himself back into the top 5. He's going to dive it, try to get under Watchhorn as he's right on his bumper coming into turn 1.
Interesting turn of events. As Brandon seems to be peeking to Merrick as, that's going to be close. But,
Barkuski really trying to get past Watchhorn right now. He's going to dive it into turn 1 again, and he's going to bump him. He turns him. There goes Watchhorn. Oh, and they're going to wreck. Oh, my gosh. And Barkuski just sent it in there.
And there is that bad blood between those 2. I'm surprised it didn't come sooner. I don't know how bad that damage is on the 54. It doesn't seem to be too bad. I didn't see how hard he hit. Maybe you get a replay of it here. He's going to come right down pit road, though. Obviously, he's going to take the EOL penalty, hopefully get more of this damage squared away.
It looked like when he spun out, he might have gotten hit by either Bransky or Hammock. I couldn't tell. It looked like a white car might have leveled him once he was trying to save it. Yeah, but Barkuski just sent it in there and tried to get him out of the way, but just flat out turned him. As you see Watchhorn here, and yep, Hammock in the number 7 levels him.
Poor Drew Hammock. Didn't he get involved in a wreck that wasn't his doing earlier? Poor.
Yeah, yeah, Hammett
Poor-
can't catch a break. That's why you don't got a sponsor on the car, unfortunately.
Yeah. Can't keep the car clean. Is getting another angle of it here. Merrick seems to have a good run off the corner, and Brandon sends it in there and just washes up the track and turns him. That's really all there is to that. Is then he hits the 7 as wrecking happens, and I just realized that Nathan Nicholson has almost been involved in close to every single wreck so far. That wreck on the front stretch he barely missed. That wreck he barely missed. One of the wrecks in the back he barely missed. Is we got the lucky dog coming up high here. As Jacob Hayes does not like the lucky dog, he will block him for some reason.
What a move from the number 9 with Jacob Hayes.
He's blocking him. Oh, he's got him behind him. Is he? And he finally.
He's going
moved
low.
Oh, he's going low. We got to find a way to make this interesting with 8 cautions. As Merrick with torn up rear end on that car.
Austin Moore been getting repairs all day on that number 91.
Austin, obviously, with that damage from the wreck on the front stretch we had earlier.
And you're looking at the field coming down the front stretch. Christopher Heller's looked really strong today. It's been a real battle between him and RJ Williams for the most part today. But Brandon Burkuski, very aggressive in the number 25 machine. He also has almost 20 laps fresher tires than these two. So I would expect some big moves from the number 25 on this next restart.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't, let's hope an incident like that doesn't occur again, as it happens. But he has fought his way back to 3rd place on freshest tires here.
We were wondering if Watchhorn and Barkuski were going to get together again, and I guess we had our answer tonight in only race number 3. Interested to see if there'll be anything for the rest of the race that happens, or possibly even next week, as I think we head to Atlanta next week.
Yes, we do head to Atlanta here, and over to Alex.
All right, gentlemen, in the booth right now we have Merrick Watchhorn. Merrick, what's the situation?
Brandon sent it and gave us the old bump and run and pushed us up the hill and completely wrecked us. So we have about 4 minutes of repairs. I'm about almost a minute and a half done, and I should be able to get back on track. But it's just at this point, just another point-saving day as per usual.
Do you have anything family-friendly to say to Barkuski about that one?
Not really.
Obvi-
I'll keep it to myself.
That's fair. All right, boys. Thank you very much. We're heading to green here in a second, so thank you, Merrick.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Merrick, for talking with us as Christopher Heller is about to lead him to the green flag. Pace car is pulling off. Green flag is out. There's a wreck. Nicholson is
Into the
around.
wall. Big wreck behind them. Spencer Dickinson, the 07.
You were just talking about how Nicholson's been barely getting past these wrecks, and there he is in the inside wall in that bright pink number 47, last week's winner.
There's a commentator's curse in the Great Lakes series. That's all I have.
That's what I'm saying. There's
Like
the
that-
curse.
There is a curse. Like as he just spins the tires, comes across the nose of Bransky, and I believe
Amazing.
there's just a bit of a pile up from that point, I believe.
Amazing how the wreck actually wasn't bigger than it was. Still a good amount of cars involved, but it really could have been a lot bigger than it actually was as Nicholson spun from the high side on a restart. Yeah, you see Dickinson and the 07 get together. That could have been so much worse than it actually was.
Good driving by those two. As getting word now that Nathan Nicholson missed a shift is what caused that wreck.
As Elliot Henderson comments on how this is being broadcasted right now. Bunch of cautions out there, guys. But it's making for a pretty good stream.
Yeah, as gives us lots to talk about and lots to view, I guess.
And a lot of incidents as we're around halfway through the race. So you're looking at our leader, Christopher Heller, who's been up there in the top 2 all day. We're about to have the lucky dog pass by on the outside. The lucky dog looks to be the number 5 of Matt Daniels with those bright pink rims. What's the decision on those bright pink rims?
I believe he just wanted to stand out. Maybe we could get him in here and ask him about it as he continues to complete his lucky dog lap. Just taking a quick look at the running order here. RJ and Chris still hanging out, and Hayes also hanging out. That top 5 really hasn't changed. Josh Cottle seems to be holding on to 6th after that difficult start there, where he gave up a lot of positions.
But, yeah, Cottle. We haven't really talked about Cottle since the very beginning. He started on the pole and just fell back, just fell hard. His car must not handle that good under race trim, but he seems to gain back a lot of positions with all these incidents. He's moved himself back up into the 6th position.
Yeah, as he seems to be having a strong schedule, or pardon me, not strong schedule, strong race. Looking at the schedule for next week.
The schedule's strong too.
Yeah, the schedule is very strong. We have a very strong schedule. Just looking at the schedule for next week. Coming on Tuesday, the Great Lakes Truck Series heads to Lucas Oil Raceway for the 3rd race of the year on June 28th, followed by the Cup Series on July 1st. That will be an interesting race at Atlanta. Atlanta has been the prime track for the Truck Series finale the last 3 seasons, so it'll be interesting to see that track not be, a championship track for the Great Lakes Series.
Should be two very interesting races. I love both those racetracks. Atlanta is always exciting, can always produce fantastic finishes. Then Lucas Oil Raceway, a short track, but also the high side usually seems to be the dominant way around the track. So it should be very interesting next week at Lucas Oil and Atlanta as we have the one to go now here in Phoenix.
Yeah, Lucas Oil, I've just put down a couple laps just to get familiar with it. I didn't even own it before this week, and yeah, that iGroove, I was I'm not gonna lie, that first little bit I was wrapping the bottom and thinking, damn, I'm really slow, and then I got hey, run the high line, and then it started to click. I ran a lap up high and went, wow, that's a lot faster than the inside. That's really weird. That must have been a fluke, and then I was informed it was not a fluke. Coming to green here, Heller's going to lead them off. He gets a good jump as he's got his teammate behind him. He'll move up high to get a good arch into the corners. Brandon charging to RJ's inside.
Brandon tried to jump himself into that 2nd spot as he looks to cut the dog leg here and make this a 1-2 for 25-11. But he's not going to make the pass this time by, as he's going to just try to be able to stay in front of Jacob Hayes as Hayes puts the pressure on. Watching the battle for 3rd. Hayes right behind Barkuski, and right behind him, Henderson and Drew Cox are beginning to go at it. We haven't mentioned Drew Cox all day, other than when he slammed the wall earlier, and he's driven himself back up to 6th.
Good drive there from him. As Josh Cottle lost a lot of spots. Again, that comment, you know what? We're done talking about drivers. We're just going to start seeing numbers. We're done. We're done.
Only numbers. Sorry, Kyle Hall, you don't have a number.
Yeah, yeah, except for Kyle Hall, but
he doesn't have a number.
He doesn't have a number. He'll just be the black car.
That's racist. As you see, Bransky diving in on the number 22, but he's not going to be able to get to his inside as Drew Cox just has a little too much speed coming out of the dog leg.
As I think, you know what, never mind. I was just about to say something, but I've learned to not say it, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Yep, we're not talking about drivers here on the broadcast. We're only talking numbers.
Yeah, we're only talking numbers. Is that that 11 car up there, holding off the 21 as the 25 begins to charge on all of them. I can't
Oh,
do
and they
this.
all spin. They all spin.
Yeah, they're all wrecking. Everyone we just talked about. Oh, and they all magically lagged out. And the guy in 30th is going to win the race. Congrats, Jacob Manning, who didn't even start the race. You win.
Christopher Heller leading the field just past halfway. Heller's looked really strong. That clean air seems to make a big difference as RJ Williams just has not been able to get back to the lead since he lost it earlier because of that pit strategy. Taking a look at that number 4 as he's trying to hold off the number 42 of Nick Martin.
Yeah, as you know, RJ. One thing RJ is extremely good at is tire management. Knock on. I don't know if the broadcast can hear that, but I'm knocking on wood. He's. I think if I'm RJ right now, I'm just really taking it easy. We got close to math. I think that's 70 laps left if I can do proper math. Got 70. Oh, and RJ got loose off the corner. Nope, done.
Race over.
Race over. We're
Okay.
done. We're not talking about RJ anymore. The next driver we talk about will wreck. I promise. So over to you, Kyle. You get to talk.
Oh man, I get to ruin someone's day now. Okay, cool. Well, you're currently looking at Drew Cox and Scott Stewart battling it out for the 7th spot. Both of them looking pretty strong here. We haven't really talked about Scott Stewart most of the day. He's been hanging around the 10th spot all day, and Scott Stewart's going to dive it in on the number 22 of Drew Cox into turns 1 and 2. He's going to try to clear him, and he will coming out of turn 2, as now Cox is going to get a battle from Cottle.
As he looks to have crossed him over, but no go on that move as the battle continues on. Everyone seems to have, single filed out. Brandon with those fresher tires really seems like not have stalled out for lack of a better term, but he just doesn't seem to have that like extra push. If you know what I mean, like he doesn't seem to really be gaining time on these front two. Part of me wonders if Brandon was pushing hard to clear all that lap traffic while Heller and RJ really were just hanging up out here. So those tires might actually be equal just due to like the wear, as Heller and RJ didn't have to push as hard as Brandon did to get to the position they're currently in.
Yeah, it seems like those tires have kind of evened out. Barkuski was really charging through the field trying to get himself back up here. He might have used up the tires a little too much, but he's still on pace with these guys as they're all within 1/10 of each other last time by.
Yeah, as everyone's single filed out like usual here, as this is the longest green flag run we've had so far. Just hoping it stays that way. I'd really like to see this race go green to the end and hopefully just vibe out. Like I said, we're gonna have, I'm sure, like fuel strategy and tire strategy come into play here soon, as obviously that top 5 really represent 3 different fuel strategies. You have Heller and RJ on the older tires, Brandon on the newest tires, and Jacob Hayes and Elliot Henderson on like those middle ground tires where they're newer than RJ's and Heller's, but a little bit older than Brandon's. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes, as we also see Jake Miller to the garage for today. He's also done.
I'm disappointed to see the number 4 out this early. I would also like to make a little note. I was just talking about Scott Stewart Jr. a second ago. I just noticed that actually he came in and took fresh tires around 20 laps ago. So he has fresher tires than everyone in the field by 20 plus laps right now. So he's making some pretty big moves. He's up to 7th, and he's threatening to take over that 6th spot from Bransky, as you see on your screen. Elliot Henderson and Jacob going at it as well.
Yes, as Bransky also might be fighting some handling issues. Obviously, he was involved in that wreck earlier, so you never know. He could be fighting those handling issues. As Scott Stewart and Elliot Henderson, I don't know if anyone's paying attention to this part of it, but there's currently a bit of an underlying battle between those two. As of course,
Caution's
as I
out.
say, long run, we have our third or 10th caution. Feels like 13th. I don't know why I had the number 13 in my head, but as just oh my goodness, is Seth Harrelson with some damage to the right side there. That Hangout Chat Motorsports Chevrolet getting a replay here. He just seems to have lost it coming onto the dog leg. Did a quick loop-to-loop in iRacing's like, that's a caution. Throw it out. As he
Yeah,
just
Harrelson
loses
just
it off
lost
the
one all by
corner.
himself, it looks like.
Yeah, loses it off the corner, and based on iRacing's I'm gonna say wrecking detection for lack of the correct term, it seems, Phoenix is an all asphalt or paved track, so whenever there's a wreck on a paved surface, a yellow comes out. So obviously he's down way out of the way, and a yellow still comes out.
As everyone comes down pit road. I'm gonna send it down to Alex, who might have some strategy for us down there.
Well, the strategy is don't stay out, you will get passed. Because they have ran a lot of laps on these tires no matter what time you pit. And you are going to be losing upwards of a second per lap if you're not pitting here. So the fact that everybody came in is about expected.
Watching this race off pit road, and it looks like Heller's gonna get out first. And oh, that was close for second. I think Barkuski might have beat RJ. That was really close. And he did. Barkuski second out. And it's gonna be a 25-11 racing front row on the restart. This is huge. This is a big deal. It's gonna make it that much harder for RJ to get up there and battle Heller, because now he has Barkuski to deal with too. Couple of drivers looking to get a wave around this time. Looks like Watchhorn, Gonzalez, and Matt Daniels are all trying to get a wave around.
Yeah, those drivers with the wave around trying to make some of those laps back, long race, and just something to note, get that wave around. It might not make sense to, just looking at it, but if you think about it, if a driver wrecks out and say, like, let's just take a quick look here at someone like, say, Merrick. Say someone wrecks out with 5 to go. Well, Merrick, because he got the wave around, is now 4 laps down instead of 5, and will pass that person for an extra point. So
all about points for these guys now with all the damage they have.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers with damage, they're just trying to, salvage what they can, get a somewhat decent point tonight. I don't, really, I don't see many cars without damage. As a lot of cars seem to have some sort of damage. Just looking here, I believe Heller, RJ really are the only two up front. I believe Brandon has some side damage and Elliott has some rear end damage. On my screen, Bransky doesn't have a front bumper. So that's that could potentially end bad.
An interesting call from Heller. He's going to move up to the high side and let his teammate take the inside on this restart. Maybe trying to keep RJ Williams just a little farther back.
Yeah, as we saw earlier, when Brandon was on the fresher tires, he also took the outside, but when those tires started to wear, everyone ducked down to the inside. So that's definitely a tire move there. Is getting ready. Elliott right on the 11's bumper, going to give him a bit of a shove here as they're going to shove down the front stretch. Brandon and RJ did not have such luck, or not luck, but as good as a jump. And Heller's going to get off to a good lead from that.
Elliott Henderson trying to take away second from Barkuski. He's going to get a good run off the corner, and they're both going to cut the dog leg, and it looks like Elliott's going to take the second spot away. What a move from Elliott on the restart to put himself in second.
Elliott Henderson is up 21 positions from his starting spot. He started whatever, I believe 23rd, and is now up to second. Obviously missing qualifying, like we said earlier, due to some traffic issues on his way home. But still just an unbelievable drive from him. As we see RJ start to peak low on Brandon. And will he make the move? Riding on board with Elliott right now, but he's probably looking in his rearview mirror, looking at these two battling and thinking, great, that's what I need to see. I want to see RJ and Brandon battle, but that's obviously not going to end well as RJ clears him, learns from Merrick Watchhorn's mistake, and immediately moves to protect that inside so Brandon doesn't dive it in there. And remember, RJ was really strong in the first half of this race, or not first half, well, first couple laps. He was leading a good chunk of those because of the caution, so watch for him to really surge at the last moment. Like I said, RJ is a terrific long run racer. So look for him to be strong in the end here. Is looking behind them. Josh Cottle making a move to the inside of Jacob Bransky. Will it stick? It will not. Bransky, obviously, as everyone can see, battling some front end damage. Obviously, he hasn't lost any power as he is fighting that 31 of Josh Cottle.
Bransky's been involved in about 1 million incidents today, but yet he's been in the top 10 all day, most of the day in the top 5. He looks very strong in that 6th spot, even with all that nose damage. He's holding off Cottle very well.
Yeah, that happy dad Chevrolet holding in tough there. That's a lot of grit out of him to keep in this race, keep on it, keep that position. You know, if I'm him right now, obviously I don't know how that car's driving. I'm not him driving it, but you know, front end damage is pretty substantial. Probably down a couple RPMs. He's just trying to hold on. He's just hanging on for dear life, running consistent, hard laps, not letting anyone go. He's holding on hard, which is what you need to do. Stuff like this will win you championships. You have to be like this. You have to hold on to those spots as the front pack is single file and spread out as we see RJ Williams begin to pull away from Brandon and Elliott and Heller begin to pull away from both of them.
Gonna check the times at the line. Heller running a 27.1 that time by. Elliott Henderson around a half a tenth slower than Heller. And then RJ Williams just a little slower than Elliott. But Heller is the quickest out of that top 3 last time by. Heller continues to gap Elliott.
RJ seemed to get a big run coming out of the dog leg there as he will set his sights on the 37 Elliott Henderson design Toyota.
Very impressive run from this number 37 machine. Even if he doesn't get the job done and gets in victory lane, just where he's at right now is insane impressive.
Yeah, you know, you gotta, Elliott obviously won all 3 truck championships. Had a very strong showing last year in the Cup Series, was in the fight till the end, and obviously he is once again putting on that performance. Is, you know, that's what champions are made of. He just drove all the way up from the back, and that's what you got to do. He was dealt a bad hand, and he did what he could with it, and is now up to second.
Elliott Henderson running a very good race as you're looking at Phil Bedford and then the number 39 of Zachary Henry battling it out for the 12th spot. Bedford dives it in there on Henry. He's going to try to clear him. A lot of damage to that number 20 Red Bull machine. He's going to try to clear him off of turn 4, and he does. Back to the battle of Cottle and Bransky. Cottle has been all over Bransky the last 10 laps, but hasn't yet to even really try to make a move on the 03, as maybe he's just buying his time and saving his tires in the number 31 machine. Cottle looking high. Nope, nothing there. He's in the crossover down low, gonna try to get a run off the corner. But it isn't there, not able to drive down Bransky at all really through the dog leg as he has Drew Cox right behind him. Our pole sitter, Josh Cottle, Drew Cox sideways off turn 4. Great save for the number 22 right there, but Scott Stewart will pass him on the high side going into 1.
Good move from him. Coming to clear, as I believe that was for the 8th position. As Scott Stewart up 17 positions from his qualifying spot. Strong run from him. Just a bit of a, you know, a sleeper drive. He moved up, like I said, 17 spots. So he roughly started around, I believe almost last then, if I can do math. Or I'll just pull it up. He started 25th and is up to 8th, and Elliott started 23rd and is up to 2nd. I just remembered that I could look at where people started, so my apologies for that. As RJ
There goes Jacob Hayes. Great save from the number 9. I thought for sure he was spinning it around. He was completely sideways out of turn 4 in front of Bransky, and now it's Jacob versus Jacob. Gonna maybe try to get you a replay for that, because that was insane. I do not know how Hayes saved that. A fantastic save.
I just saw that. That was incredible. Wow.
An insane save from the number 9.
That was impressive drive from him to hold on to that. Holy moly.
Hayes has had a very strong day, but that was a very impressive save as you're about to take a look at it as he's coming through turns 3 and 4. Comes off turn 4 here, and he's just going to get completely sideways and just keeps it moving.
Like I said earlier, that hot and slick racetrack obviously came into play there, as he was slipping and sliding his way out of that corner.
Jacob Hayes all over the back bumper of Bransky as he's trying to get himself back into the top 5 after that incident. As you look at the battle between RJ Williams and Elliott Henderson begin to heat up.
RJ reeled him in from a good chunk back there, so good drive from him. Let's see if he can do it. Like I said, RJ strong on the long run. As Elliott last time around ran a 27.9 and RJ ran a 27.8, so he is catching him. As Chris Heller continues to pull away, obviously he's extremely happy with that. Heller looking for his 2nd win of the season, obviously, as he won Daytona after a last lap incident between Brandon and Merrick.
And there goes Hayes again. This time he's not going to save it. Oh, what a job keeping minimal damage on the car. Look at that.
Look at that. He's still going.
He's still spinning it. This isn't a dirt track. Oh, don't. What are you doing? Now you're getting cocky. You're getting cocky.
Hey, I'm going to ask the producer if we can play the Tokyo Drift theme song to a replay of that. I don't know if that's copyrighted or not, but like that is how I would that's how I would describe that. What a save.
It's fitting with Fast and Furious 9 premiering tonight, the number 9 car doing some Fast and Furious stuff.
That reminds me of Jimmy Johnson at Dover.
Yeah.
That famous save, obviously, except he didn't hit the wall, but still almost like a perfect mirror recreation of that. Is spins coming onto the front stretch, spins it around a couple times, and Jimmy didn't hit the back end of the wall, but still pretty close. That's still minimal damage really, and this isn't an aero track. This is, like I said, more of a short track. Look at the arms going in that car as he's just trying to keep it off the wall, and obviously him clipping that rear is looking on pit road. Whoa, interesting. Only Elliott Henderson out of that front group will come down. That's a risky call by Elliott. I wouldn't say that's a risky call to everyone else, but Elliott's going to be on the fresher tires here.
And no one really followed him onto pit road as Dickinson comes onto pit road, the number 42 and Martin. Jacob Hayes, after his incident, is on pit road. Those are the only guys on pit road. Austin Moore as well, but Austin Moore being multiple laps down in the number 91 machine. Actually, no, the 91's on the lead lap. He just has a bunch of damage. Great job keeping on the lead lap, actually.
He's just, he's trying to grind that away. As Matt Daniels also recovering from his incident earlier. I believe he will be back on the lead lap. Yeah, Matt Daniels back on the lead lap from the Lucky Dog.
Congratulations to him. Finally back on the lead lap in the number 5 machine. As it looked like Nick Martin beat Elliott Henderson off pit road. It looks like he might have taken 2 tires in the number 42 machine there.
Yeah, Nick also I believe that Nick has some damage, so he might have just been trying to square that away. We'll see if he comes down next time they come across, but interesting stuff. Will he? No, he will stay out. I guess he only did take 2 tires. I guess all the optional damage there for that 42 is all finished.
So Elliott Henderson back in 12th with the freshest tires. He's gonna have to pass all these guys to try to get himself back up to the top 3 and competing with Heller and RJ.
Yes.
Well, I
You know.
have a little interesting thing to say about this pit stop here. There's a little bit of information that I've heard that the fuel window is around 40 laps, I've heard, which does seem a little short. However, these drivers could have a reduced fuel tank as well. So, for these drivers to have pit under that caution, that would put them right at the end of the race.
Alex, I do
Also
believe
got a
these
little
cars-
bit of. I also got a little bit of tidbit here. Nick Martin did take 2 tires. His pit stop time was 6 seconds, as to Elliot's 14-second pits. So Nick Martin on 2 here.
Huh, interesting strategy from Nick, just trying to make up some track position possibly. Obviously, he was involved in a wreck earlier. And he probably figured, you know what? Everyone's coming down to take no tires. I might as well take 2 and see how it goes. As he'll come out ahead of Elliott as the cars begin to line up. Double file here. Lights out on the pace car. Getting ready for the restart of the race in an interesting 40 or little under 40 laps left to go here.
And if Alex is correct about that strategy, Nick Martin's going to look like a genius, as he might be able to come out of here with the top 5 if we go green the rest of the way. But back to the leaders for now, as the pace car is about to pull off. We're about to go green flag racing, as once again it's Heller reversed RJ Williams on the front row. Pace car is off, and Christopher Heller is going to lead him to the green flag. Green flag is back out, and Heller and Barkuski off to a great restart. Oh, and there's looks like almost some contact between RJ and Bransky. Look like Bransky might have actually gotten into RJ a little bit going into 1. And Cottle has moved himself into the 4th position after that incident between Bransky and Williams. Cottle, first time in the top 5 since the beginning of the race.
Interesting from him. Josh Cottle obviously had a bit of a poor start, like I stated earlier, climbing back
Oh
into
no,
it.
Stewart! Stewart saves it! What a save!
What a
number
catch.
26. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that was insane. Great save from the number 26 of Scott Stewart.
We've had a good couple saves today, apparently. It's the race of who can save the spinning race car.
And here
right
we
now,
are back with the Ken Block 150. The 07 almost spins it out.
Oh my goodness, now I gotta wonder what's going through a lot of these drivers' heads is it's go time now. You gotta go. Like, this is a short track. This is a short track. 40 laps, on paper may seem like a lot, but it really isn't. It's maybe 1 fuel run. Like, you gotta start to go now. You gotta start planning your strategy. You gotta be ready. If there's a time to begin to push, it is right now.
I would like to just say this. Cue that Jaws music, because here comes Elliot Henderson. Elliot Henderson making some moves, trying to get himself back up into the front as he's moved himself back into the top 10. He's going to cut the dog leg and make quick work out of Dickinson and Cox. What a move.
Please don't copyright strike us. As Elliot obviously clearing both of those cars, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to Phil Bedford, obviously with a good amount of damage, currently running in the 7th position.
A great run from Phil. Been in a lot of incidents. He's falling, definitely has some damage to that number 20 machine, but if he can get out of here with the top 10, I would consider that a win for that 20 bunch, as he's been in a lot of incidents today. I'm surprised that car is still moving, as Dickinson almost moves him out of the way off of 4, and we should stop talking about him.
Yeah. Anyway, up front, I'm never saying that someone's having a good run again. I'm done with that.
Heller has a big gap on Barkuski as we were focusing near the back. As you see, Jacob Hayes almost hit the bottom wall trying to cut the dog leg.
Yeah, Heller has really just pulled a gap on Brandon and RJ. Absolutely schooling the field today. Coming across the line, ran a 27.5. The guy behind him, Brandon Barkuski, running a 27.6. So obviously quite a bit faster. Josh Cottle and Jacob Hayes. There go 2. And that's a big hit for Hayes. Cleans out poor Jacob Bransky.
And this sets up Elliot Henderson perfectly because he ran almost 2/10 quicker that last time by, and now he's right there in fourth. Elliot Henderson sitting pretty in fourth after that incident.
Incredible. What a turn of events.
Look at Elliot barely make a pass.
Oh my. We get an in-car of that man. And also, someone might want to run him a new fire suit while we're at it. Holy moly.
Alex, you know what to do.
What?
Go to Elliot Henderson's pit box and bring him a new fire suit.
Oh God! Oh, where is it? Where is it? Oh, I got it.
Yes, I don't know if anyone has the picture of Elliot in a fire suit, but that would be interesting to see right now.
Here we are with the Elliot Henderson in-car camera right here. You're gonna see him barely get past Jacob Hayes.
he was probably stressing out through that. Heller and Brandon stay out. RJ, the first of those lead lap cars to pit.
Interested to see if maybe RJ's just trying to repair some damage. He did get hit by Bransky from behind. Questionable decision really to come down pit road. No one really following him down. Looks like you got Bransky actually in there and a couple other guys, but pretty slim on pit road.
Slim pickings as Josh Cottle seems like he will get off before RJ. Most likely a 2-tire stop for that.
Interesting decision from Cottle after almost completely wrecking the car off of 2. You'd think there's a lot of tire wear because of that, maybe flat spotting the tires. Interesting call going for the possibly going for 2 tires here, or maybe even just a gas and go as there's not too many laps left in this thing.
Yeah, interesting from Cottle there. You know, I part of me wonders, right? Like, why? You know, I just gotta be honest. I don't see the point in a 2-tire stop right now.
Well, gentlemen, I believe if you are behind Elliot Henderson right now, I would personally have pit because you saw him drive through the field that far on new tires, and I'd say, you know what, it's worth it. Rather than lose out to him and anybody else, might as well be the one to lead the pack down the pit lane.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Like, it'll be interesting to see who can make it on fuel or not. As you know, we said earlier that the fuel window was pretty unclear, so we don't really know who's to the good, who's not to the good. So it'll be interesting here to see if maybe the Elliot might have to pit again for gas, or those guys up front still have to pit. Like me, I could see Heller and Brandon up there, saving a set of tires till the end of the race, thinking there's going to be a green-white checkered. Which, to be fair, we've had 12 cautions through this race. That's a reasonable expectation that this race ends under a green-white checkered. That might be what it is.
This is going to get real interesting on this restart because you have Elliot Henderson and Spencer Dickinson both behind our front row of 2511 guys with fresh tires. The number 37 and the 6 have fresh tires as they came in on that caution before this last one. So it'd be very interesting to see what the 37 and the 6 do on this restart. Pace car is going to pull off, and the number 11 of Christopher Heller is going to lead him to the green flag once again. Let's see how good of a jump he can get this time. There goes Heller. Barkuski wasn't quite ready this time. And Barkuski's going to get threatened going into turn 1 by our 2 guys with fresh tires. Oh, and Dickinson!
Oh! I'm up in the wall. Here he comes again. He's going to dive into the inside. This time he's going to follow Elliot into the corner. Looked there that he might peek it 3 wide and a
Caution's out.
Pile up in the back.
The 13th caution of the night.
On a caution-filled night here at Phoenix Raceway. Christopher Heller has been dominant for most of the thing. If you guys are just joining us. You see Austin Moore driving really quickly. Looks to be possibly getting away from something. And Harrelson has not had a fun day at all in that 07. I've seen him in a bunch of incidents today. As Barkuski's on pit road. The number 25, Barkuski is on pit road. Really questionable from Barkuski, as he's literally the only one on pit road this time around. Nick Martin follows him, it looks like, on, and Austin Moore once again on pit road. Very questionable from Barkuski, as we only have 25 laps to go. I'm going to try to get some replays for you.
So you're going to get a look at the replay here. Yeah, it seems someone just got a little loose and washed up the track. What?
Looked like Harrelson just got sideways and washed up the track.
Yeah,
it looked to me.
Here's the proper replay. It's over to Briar Fritz, who has some information for us.
Yeah, looking there, it seems like Brandon Barkuski is going to pretty much lean on the cautions right now, as we at the beginning of the race averaged about 7 laps per caution with a 20-lap stint there and another 15-lap stint. But we're sitting here looking with a couple laps to go. I imagine Brandon Barkuski is going to hope that his pit strategy means he has the freshest tires and have everybody else go down. I'm not sure if Elliott still has the extra tires or not, but if he does, I imagine you'll see them coming down, and Brandon's going to be looking pretty up front. So for Brandon's strategy, it's going to be a pretty tight racing for then. He just got to keep his nose clean in the back, and hopefully that he can get up there in next caution.
Thanks for that, Briar. Yeah, obviously, you said lean on the cautions. It's been a very caution-heavy race today. Unusual for the Great Lakes Series. Not at Phoenix, though. We need to have a vote to not ever race here again. This is now outlawed from Great Lakes. We'll never race here again. Yeah, if I'm anyone right now trying to make a strategy call, I am expecting cautions. I'm expecting caution after caution with the 22 laps we have left here. Like, cautions breed cautions. It's a short track. It's gonna happen. It's madness right now, as a lot of people have came and gone from this front pack, but Heller seems to have been the constant. But if I'm Chris Heller right now, I'm shaking in my boots. Like, Elliott's behind me, and he's on practically brand new tires.
And you have literal brand new tires back there in row 4, as you have Cottle and RJ not too far behind these guys. Cottle sitting right there behind Bedford, who has a lot of damage, so I would assume that Cottle would be able to get past Bedford and the number 26 of Scott Stewart pretty quickly and put the pressure on these front guys as the pace car is about to pull off, and we're going to get green flag racing with around 20 laps to go. Christopher Heller versus Elliott Henderson, and Heller gets off to a great restart, gets off to a couple car length lead. Elliott Henderson going to be in second coming into turn 1.
Yeah, obviously interesting development there. Does Elliott have the time to catch him? We're coming to 20 to go. And, we saw it earlier a bit with Brandon and RJ and Heller that, Brandon had new tires, but he wasn't able to reel those guys in. But obviously Elliott breaking that mold as he is catching Heller extremely quickly. He gets you can just tell with the tires, he's getting a better arc out of the corner. He's able to get it in harder, brake later. But, someone who's probably very happy right now, that 6 car behind all of them, Spencer Dickinson, obviously been decently fast all race. He is hoping that Heller holds up Elliott long enough for him to get there and hopefully clear both of them for the lead.
And here comes Cottle and Williams. Cottle and Williams are coming up quick on these guys. They've moved themselves into the top 5. And Cottle now takes over the 3rd spot from Dickinson. And Williams is going to move into 4th as Elliott Henderson is going to jump down low on Heller. He's gonna try to make the pass going into turn 3.
Will he do it? Will he clear him? Heller with that outside is going to get the run off the corner. Is it going to be enough
Elliott's
to clear him?
loose.
Elliott's loose, catches it, and will not complete the pass because of that issue there. As Josh Cottle is right on Elliott Henderson's bumper now.
And what a comeback this could be for Cottle. Cottle started on the pole, immediately fell to the back, and has been running around 10th most of the day. And here at the end of the race, he might have the fastest car and running in 3rd.
Yeah, he's just taking a look at some laps. He's running 27 zeros. Elliott ran a 27 4s. Elliott Henderson with a block to the inside. Here comes Josh Cottle trying to take it to the outside. He's going to pinch Elliott down. Elliott's not going to be able to get a good run out of the corner. Josh Cottle with the big run. This dogleg, will he be able to clear him? He will. He will now make his move on Chris Heller. Josh Cottle to the inside. Does he have it in him?
Power
Guys.
moves from a 31 late.
A quick little update. Josh Cottle is last pit lap was 121 compared to Elliott's 110. So Cottle with new tires up in front battling.
Thank you, Brian, for that
Cottle.
information.
Yeah, Cottle and Williams with those fresh tires. Don't count on RJ yet. He's still in that 4th spot. Maybe just waiting for the right moment as Cottle dives it in to turn 3. And he's going to try to take the lead back for the first time since the very beginning of this thing.
Will he do it? He will not. It's a drag race to the line. I imagine Cottle's got to clear him soon. Don't get me wrong, Heller's driving the wheels off of it, but those tires can only hold on for so long. And as we see it there, Heller seems to snap a little loose. New leader, Josh Cottle.
Cottle takes the lead. He's looking to clear him going into turn 3, and he will. Heller's not quite giving up. He's fighting very tough on that high side as Elliott Henderson now gets down below him. And these guys are battling right in front of RJ Williams, who's trying to get by him and get to Cottle.
Will Cottle be able to hold on to it? Because don't forget, RJ's right there. And Elliott gets loose off the corner. RJ's going to stick his nose in. He will get to the inside quarter panel of him. Now, will he be able to clear Elliott off the corner? He will. RJ Williams up to 3rd, now with his eyes on the 11 of Heller, coming with 13 to go this time by. What a fantastic turn of events here. You know, this race is pretty boring.
You, but look who's charging. That number 25 at Barkuski. Where did he come from? Barkuski's all of a sudden right there with Bransky. Bransky with all his damage. All of a sudden, all these guys are in competition for the win as Cottle's trying to check out.
RJ clears Heller. RJ Williams. Spectrum Racing 1-2 now. As Brandon trying to make his presence known, he'll clear Bransky this time. He looks like he's going to clear his teammate, Chris Heller. And it looks like Heller doesn't even have any more fight in him. He's just going to let him go. Will Brandon be able to get around Elliott? He has to do it soon. We're coming with 11 to go here. He can't wait. You have to go. You have to go now. And Brandon knows it. And here he comes. He's going to clear Elliott. Brandon with the freshest tires out of anybody.
What a move from Brandon, but Elliott still fights tough on that high side. Elliott Henderson not giving up the 3rd spot as the battle for the lead begins to really heat up. As RJ is only a car length behind Cottle. He's really closing in on Cottle as he was almost 2/10 faster last time by.
Here, guys, but Christopher Heller, he's on 52 lap old tires, so look for him to either run out of gas here or come down to pit.
Very disappointing for Heller. Heller, who has led the most laps here today, it seems like strategy has bit him in the butt as he has fallen back to 5th, and he's going to continue to fall with those old tires and not be able to possibly make it on fuel. As you continue to watch this battle for the lead, RJ Williams is right there on Cottle, looking for a caution. And there's a caution. Oh my gosh. And just when you thought things couldn't get crazier, there's a late race caution. Oh my goodness. Phoenix has been crazy here today. Looking at Drew Cox, who might have been involved in that incident that had just happened. We're gonna also take a look at the number 13 of Jordan Gonzalez. A lot of damage to that 13 cars. We're gonna take a look at the replay here. See Matt Daniels already in mid-spin. Oh, the 13 just comes flying through. Matt Daniels doesn't seem too happy on the radio. Not sure if he got some help to spin around there. Ooh, Phil looks like he cut down on him. Matt Daniels worked so hard. And just to have that happen, definitely very disappointing for him.
Yeah, obviously disappointing for Matt. And looks like those guys up front are going to stay out. Not named Chris Heller. Heller obviously can't make it any longer, I don't imagine, is getting another look at that replay. Zachary Henry, fantastic wreck avoidance by him to avoid the wrecking cars there, as we have ourselves a race, ladies and gentlemen.
This is gonna be insane. We're gonna get the green flag with around 5 laps to go. You have Josh Cottle and RJ Williams, who both pit on lap 121 or lap 122. And then right behind them, you have Barkuski, who pit on the caution after them. So Barkuski has the freshest tires. Just the question is, will he have the opportunity to make a move for the win? And Elliot Henderson, who's been the story of the day, missing qualifying, had to start at the back, but drove himself to the front fairly quickly and has been running in the top 5 for the whole second half of this race. And then rounding out your top 5, Bransky with all his damage to that 03 machine. It is very impressive that he has been up there all race long.
As just absolute insanity here. Is I would like to place bets on who's gonna win the race, but first off, commentators curse, and second of all, and just tires, and everyone's driving differently, and it's just this is gonna be an insane start. I think we might have like a Daytona-esque situation where everything's all kind of fine and dandy till that last lap where everything gets really hectic, and who knows, you never know. We saw Brandon Barkowski charge all the way from the back there, so him and his teammate Chris Heller have swapped places. Maybe Heller can make a late race charge here.
You can't quite count out Heller yet, as there's still some time for him to possibly try to get back up there. He's going to be restarting, it looks like, in the 11th position. So it's definitely a little farther back, but he does have 4 fresh Goodyears on the car. Maybe he can get a couple of spots, maybe grab another caution, and he can get himself right back into this thing. As the lights are now out on the pace car, these guys are going to line up to go green flag one more time. Looks like we're going to get the green flag with 5 laps to go here at Phoenix. Josh Cottle has a huge advantage starting off as the leader. RJ Williams, I feel like, has a little more speed than Cottle, but Cottle, with this advantage as being the leader, could really be the difference maker in who wins and loses this race.
Yes, sir. As getting ready, lights out on the pace car, coming down pit road. Time for the best time of the day. Hopefully last restart of the race, and Josh Cottle with a good jump. RJ's going to challenge him. RJ timed it perfectly. Josh is not going to get anywhere as they start to pan out behind him, and as I say that, Cottle will clear him, but here comes Brandon to the inside of Elliott. Brandon will begin to make his move on RJ Williams.
It looked like RJ struggled in the center of 1 and 2 and lost a little bit of time to Cottle. That was the closest restart all day, but then RJ Williams looked to have thrown it away a little bit in 1 and 2 as he tries to get some of that time back in 3 and 4. 3 wide back there, it looks like, for the 8th position. Craziness going on back there behind Dickinson.
That's craziness up like all through the field, and I said Brandon was on those newer tires, but those guys up front seem to have checked out a bit from him, as Josh Cottle just right now hoping that there's not a yellow, hoping that maybe RJ and Brandon get into a little bit, and just hoping that he can pull away, but RJ won't let him get away easy here.
RJ dominated the beginning portion of this race, leading on the first 30 laps, and then there's a caution. The number 42 of Nick Martin spins out on the front stretch, and oh my goodness, Christopher Heller is going to be right back into this, as I think he was 6th or 7th when that caution came out, so he's right there.
Heller was in 7th behind Spencer Dickinson.
Interested to see how that caution came out, as it sounds like Nick Martin actually spun himself, as he says on the radio. Yep, just spins himself. Doesn't hit the wall too hard. He's going to be able to continue on and stay on the lead lap, it looks like. Very good point stay for the number 42. The number 42 has had a lot of issues, but he's been able to keep himself on the lead lap, and he's running in 15th right now. So a very good point stay from the number 42 machine, but definitely not the result that he wanted.
Yeah, stuff happens. Sometimes you just gotta keep your nose in it. It won't always go your way. And Nick's a fast guy; he'll get it figured out. But sometimes it's just not your night, and this seems to be one of those nights for him.
And here for the Great Lakes Cup Series presented by Butt Kicker, there will be 3 green-white checkered finishes, as this will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered here in Phoenix Raceway. So if you haven't told your friends and family already, I recommend you share the stream, because stuff about to get crazy here at Split Second Broadcasting for the Great Lakes Cup Series, as Josh Cottle, your pole sitter, leads the field. And once again, the cameras of this race are brought to you by Track Cams for Gourmets. That's Track Cams for Gourmets. Go to trackcams22.com for your custom iRacing cameras. What do you guys think is going to happen here? I'm just have to ask around. What do y'all think is going to happen?
Wreck in the front 3. And you're going to see Heller come through and be able to have some Daytona luck again. But there's no way that those front 3 aren't going to battle it out, and there's not going to be some temper flares.
Alex, what do you think is going to go down in these last few laps, man?
Well, personally, seeing Heller be 3 wide on the last restart there, I'm thinking he'll try and attempt that again in any opportunity he could get. So really, how crazy this restart's going to be is all dependent on him.
And y'all in the chat, y'all say who you want to win. Who you think's going to win? Who do you want to win? What do you think's going to happen in these last few laps? I want to see that chat light up. What do you think's going to happen here, Gavin? This is going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't know. Like, I'm not just saying that for the sake of saying it. Like, we've got 4 fast cars up here. Josh has obviously been extremely strong at the end of this race. RJ, strong as always. Brandon, on new tires. Elliott on somewhat new tires. You never know. Who's to say that all 4 of them don't wreck out and Bransky doesn't sweep in, or Spencer doesn't sweep in, or Heller sweep in, or someone. It's absolutely unpredictable. And that's what I love about the way it is right now. I'm sure that's probably not going to happen. All these guys, they're all pretty good. They've got it all together. I have faith in them to not wreck. So we'll see as the lights have gone out on the pace car, and we'll go green this time.
And Josh Cottle is going to lead him down to the green flag this time. Only the 3rd time today that he's going to lead the field down to the green flag. The initial start and then that prior restart, Josh Cottle let him down. He has Barkuski right on his bumper this time. RJ Williams to his outside and Elliott Henderson right behind him. Christopher Heller back on the inside of row number 4 with the freshest tires. The driver who's led the most laps, your points leader and your Daytona winner. Can't count him out in the number 11 machine. Pace car is about to pull off. These guys are way far back from the pace car. A lot of drama building up to this possibly final restart. Josh Cottle looking to have a redemption story as they both get going at the same time. Another great restart from RJ Williams, who is expecting Cottle to go.
RJ's going to hang on to the outside. RJ has to know, though, that those guys coming behind are on fresher tires. You can't hang out in that outside line for too long or else you're going to lose spots. But obviously, all cards on the table. RJ's going to battle. He's going to send it in there. Him and Josh Cottle are going to bang.
Here comes Barkuski in the number 25, and the 31 blocks him. Oh, RJ, my gosh.
They're going to make it back to the white. Here we go. Doesn't matter what happens.
RJ Williams leads the field. Right behind them is Cottle and Elliott going after it for second. Elliott Henderson trying to take the spot. Christopher Heller closing in with Bransky.
We'll Cottle clear Elliott. It doesn't matter, though. Regardless of what happens, R.J. Williams is going to win at Phoenix as
And
Cottle wrecks
Cottle!
behind him.
Henderson comes home second. Big wreck on the front stretch. Very disappointing for Cottle, who maybe thought that he was going to win this race 2 laps ago, and he's going to come across the line backwards in the 31 machine. Very disappointing for him.
R.J. Williams winning completes the Great Lakes sweep for this week for Spectrum Racing. Obviously, Hunter Madalinas winning the road course race, and now RJ winning the Phoenix race here.
RJ Williams won this race.
RJ
Won
Williams,
this race.
yeah, just an incredible drive from him. I called that to happen. Yeah, that's the end of that.
That was a crazy finish. I'm very curious what would have happened if Cottle didn't throw the block on Barkuski like he did, because Barkuski was coming hard through 3 and 4, and he might have had something for RJ coming off the corner. But RJ gets a lucky break as his teammate throws a major block for him. RJ Williams had the strongest car a good amount of the day, and he wins in Phoenix. He's going to try to burn it down, looking to pick a spot maybe to start his burnout in this number 21 windshield deep Ford machine. We're going to try to get you interviews with our top 3 finishers here today. Awesome performance from RJ. And then once again, great job from Elliott Henderson coming from the back, able to pull home a second place finish. And Christopher Heller, after pitting on that last caution, second to last caution, able to come home with a 3rd place spot, get himself on the podium. Jacob Bransky comes home 4th with all the damage, and Spencer Dickinson comes home 5th. You see RJ Williams doing his Alan Kawicki lap around Phoenix. You love to see it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And obviously, we know Elliott finished second, but still, an incredible drive from him. He moved up 21 positions from where he started. That's bonus points as well as, just raw talent. Good points night for him after what could have been disastrous, really, if you think about it. Like, if he didn't climb through the field, he was going to finish in the back. But Elliott put, his head to the grindstone and just grinded away at it.
All right, gentlemen, let us get our winner into the booth here. R.J. Williams, congratulations!
Howdy. Thank you.
What a great race at that green-white checkered there, moving him out of the way for the win. What was that like from your perspective?
Well, basically, all I'd really tried to do there was me and Josh there got a good start. I got to give a shout out to Jinx there, Josh Cottle. He's the painter of those automobiles that were at the front at the end, and he's the painter of that bright red and yellow Ford Mustang that ended up in victory lane. I was just, the first restart there, I wanted to fall in behind him, which I did, and wanted to pull away from Brandon, which we did. And then we got that green-white checker caution there. And, I pretty much just, rolled through 1 and 2. I'm like, well, if I'm going to go, I'm going to go. And just took off. He got loose under me there in the 3, and I don't know if I hit him or not. I didn't get any incidents, or not that I remember. But just scooted up the track, and he let him catch his stuff, and, looked in the mirror, make sure Brandon wasn't getting under him, and just kept on digging and took the white flag. So, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Heller was certainly the dominant driver tonight. You can tell that him and Brandon both put in a lot of laps. But that little tire call I made there with 25 to go or something like that seemed to be the race winning strategy in my mind.
Yeah, that definitely seemed to be the strategy that grabbed you the win there at the end, as both you and Cottle drove through the field off of that. Is there anybody you like to thank for this?
Well, I thank everybody at Spectrum Racing. We won the truck race on Tuesday, and here we are winning the cup race on Thursday. So that's 2 for 2 this week for Spectrum Racing. So that's great. All my boys that hang out, Chat Motorsports, Jacob, Seth, Drew, Josh, America over at Spectrum, Ashram over at Spectrum, all those guys. Appreciate all the good times, all the guys at GLR. It's a great league. I enjoy myself here. And you guys for putting on a great broadcast. Real good stuff. I enjoy watching it. Y'all do a great job.
Well, thank you very much for that.
And windshield deep. I gotta put windshield deep out there. Short tracks only. Bring back all abandoned short tracks across the United States of America, specifically maybe one in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. So if you don't know what windshield deep is, check it out on Facebook, Twitch, the Twitter. You'll get a good idea of what's going on there.
Like he said, ladies and gentlemen, go to their sponsors. It's what they need to keep on going. All right. Thank you, RJ.
Congrats,
guys.
RJ.
Hey, Gavin.
All right. We're going to drag in our second place finisher here, Elliot Henderson. Hello, Elliot. Good job on the second place finish at the end.
Yeah, somehow we got there.
Yeah, that was a pretty chaotic finish there as RJ got around Caudle and then just chaos ensued behind him. How did you squeak your way by?
I think it was a good bit of luck. I saw them make contact, and I was just like, I mean, in my mind, I'm hoping RJ just goes and plows the wall down. You know, great win, RJ. You know, great guy and everything. But in my mind, after starting where I started and running, you know, mid pack and being involved in wrecks and stuff, I was like, oh, if he hits the wall and I can just drive on by and get one of them last lap pass finishes and blah blah blah, like. But that didn't work out. So you know, I saw Caudle get loose. I thought Brandon was going to send it 3, and he decided against it, which I think is what ultimately saved me. I don't know if Caudle kind of slammed the door on him and they netcoded a bit, and I think that's what really saved me. Maybe Brandon would have turned him if the netcode hit a different way, or you know, Caudle would have turned across his nose or what, and then we would have had another yellow, which wouldn't have been ideal. So the way it worked out is perfect. I just went to the outside. There's more grip on the outside lane than the inside, so I figured I could just throttle down and clear Caudle. And despite the tire advantage that he had, I was just kind of praying that I could hold on through that last lap. And luckily, again, the throttle advantage on turn 4 exit on the outside line showed on the last lap when, you know, Caudle unfortunately I think spun. I don't think he ended up third or anything at that point. But you know, it just goes to show that outside lane was actually really dominant throughout the race because of the grip advantage that it had off of turn 4 at least.
We definitely saw some interesting racing come from that. And we ended up crowning you a little bit as the story of the race after you missed qualifying at the beginning and still managed to drive your way up towards the front. So is there anybody you got to thank for that?
Eric was actually sitting in my chat all night, just kind of keep me up to date on certain things. And you know, I give a lot of credit to him for just kind of chilling out and keeping me sane because I was definitely doing a lot of cursing and complaining because of all these yellows. It was frustrating because to me, I needed the race to go green to have the tire advantage, but as it ended, I don't feel like I really had that. So I think the yellows played out really well for us. I think it worked out, and you know, I feel bad for a lot of my teammates. I know Austin Moore got a decent finish, finished 11th, but a lot of my guys got taken out. Peter Akimano spell spun, I think, and killed his front end at the beginning of the race. Ty Aiken, I think, got killed in a wreck, and Kyle Hall had unfortunate circumstance too as well. So frustrating night overall as a team. But for me, after the last 2 races I've had, finishing 15th and 26th, this is a good way to kick off the next 9 races after this. And you know, I said I was going to top 5 people to death and try to come away with a championship by the end of it. We'll see what that means, and you know, we're just going to work on closing this 42-point gap to a 0-point gap in our favor going into Homestead. So we'll see how that goes over the next 9, but this is just one bit of trying to chunk away at that now.
Well, we'll definitely be watching you in the next race. Thank you, Elliot, for coming in, and we'll have to drag in our 3rd place finisher.
Yeah, thank you guys for the broadcast, by the way. Can't wait to go back and watch it. I know you guys do an incredible job, Jeff, Alex, Kyle, Gavin. So looking forward to rewatching it, and have a good fun time interviewing Chris.
Thank you.
Hope both of you and everybody in the crowd enjoys it. Thank you. All right, and finally, our recovery story, Chris Heller. Chris, on the 3rd place finish after a bit of a strategy miss, the dominant driver comes away with a 3rd place finish. What was the perspective there?
Well, so my strategy was to pit when I got past, so I could have the freshest tires on the last run. But that last run kind of went a lot longer than I wanted it to. So pretty much I was just trying to be as aggressive as I could. Like after I got my new tires to try to make as much passes as I can, but it just there was no way I was gonna make up 11 spots in 5 laps. It was just I'm surprised I got all the way back up to third, to be honest with you.
That was definitely a surprising finish for you, as nobody in the booth even realized that you were in third until right at the very end of the race. There was so much going on that last lap that somehow you snuck your way through. I mean, what even happened?
So I saw Josh get in. I know Josh was kind of loose and all that stuff. So I knew he was probably going to get loose off the corner, but I also know Bransky was not going to give up the bottom going into turn 3. So as soon as I got clear of, I think it was Spencer, I just rode the high side because I know earlier on I was holding off Elliott with the high side on the old tire. So I figured that the high side would work for me in 3 and 4 as long as I got up next to Bransky. So I was kind of aiming for about 4th spot, but I kind of had a feeling I had a shot at third if I would have ran the high side. So I did that and I snuck my way through for a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, I'm sure after the performance you had all day, you would have wished that one would have been a win, but you'll ought to be happy with the 3rd place finish after having a pit so late in the race. All right, Chris, you got to thank anybody for this one?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my parents for watching, you guys broadcasting. I also keep forgetting to mention Butt Kicker. Thank them for at least supporting the league in some sort of fashion. They got a promo code, or we got a promo code that you can use at thebuttkicker.com, GLCS20. Gives you 20% off. So you could do that if you're interested in purchasing a butt kicker. It helps us out, that helps them out. Everyone wins if you go do that. I'd like to thank my teammates for practicing with me this week. Brandon Barkowski, Nicholas Martin, Nathan Nicholson, and Phil Bedford, as well as the truck teammates of Jordan Gonzalez, Matt Daniels, Cole Bradley, and then whoever runs the Star Truck, which I will be in the Star Truck Tuesday night at IRP, or Lucas Oil Raceway Park, I guess is what it's called now. So yeah, that's it.
Still IRP in our hearts.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the racing at IRP, so we'll be seeing you there. Thank you, Chris Heller, and good job on the 3rd.
Yep, thank you.
All right, boys, let's close out the show here. We had a long one for this race.
Yeah, long. It felt like an endurance race for the most part there. It was, caution after caution. I think we had close to 13 cautions there. Phoenix just does not seem to be good to these Great Lakes guys. I think we had close to the same amount in the Truck Series race here, not like 2 seasons ago. So, live and you learn, I guess. Maybe, I like Phoenix. I think it's a good track. Hope to see it next year, just without all the cautions and everything.
Yeah, definitely a lot of destroyed race cars out there, a lot of cautions, and RJ Williams able to come out on top. Next week we will be at a hot Atlanta Motor Speedway, as we'll once again be in the normal cup car, as we'll have 125 laps around Atlanta. Same time, same place here on Split Second Broadcasting. Also, join us on Tuesday for Lucas Oil Raceway for the trucks. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to see you racing in that one, Gavin.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Looking forward to it. I've been running some laps, and it seems like a fun track.
That will do. We were going to check out from Phoenix Raceway. There's your schedule on the screen. And we will see you next week at Atlanta. Once again, congratulations to RJ Williams on his victory tonight. And we will see you on Tuesday for the trucks, or possibly on Thursday for the Cup Series. Good night.